She doesn't miss you. And the brutal truth is, why should she? You were always there. The first to text, the first to double message, the first to cancel your own life just to be available. You believed consistency would carve space in her heart. You thought the more you proved your loyalty, the more she'd value you. But here's what you didn't realize. She never had to feel your absence because you never gave her the gift of missing you. You became predictable, accessible, forgettable. You're watching this because deep down, you've had enough. Enough of being the emotional cushion. Enough of being the guy who always reaches out first. Enough of living your life as if her attention is oxygen. This is not a guide for manipulation. This is the Stoic path back to your masculine center. And once you walk it, she'll either come back stronger or disappear. And either way, you'll win. 1. Stop trying to buy her feelings with effort. You may think your effort shows commitment, but the harsh reality? You're over-giving, and she feels none of it. You're flooding her with messages, checking if she saw your story, sending playlists, over-explaining a harmless joke, trying to prove you're different. You call it love, but what it really is negotiation. You're not giving from strength, you're giving from fear. And here's the problem. When effort isn't matched, it becomes noise. You want her to feel something? Stop making it easy. Value is created by investment, not availability. She doesn't value your attention because it costs her nothing. You handed it over for free. So what happens when you pull back? When your responses are delayed, not because you're playing games, but because you're building a purpose bigger than her validation. She notices. For the first time, she wonders. That silence, it speaks. She texts, "Miss you." And this time, it's not just words, it's longing. Because now, you're a man she has to reach for.
2. Guard your time like a kingdom. Time isn't just minutes on a clock. It's energy. It's direction. It's the canvas of your legacy. Every moment you bend your schedule to fit her random whims, you're telling her that her time matters more than your mission. And she feels that, not with gratitude, but with boredom. Respect fades when your schedule is always open. Attraction fades when your calendar revolves around her. You skip workouts because she, quote, finally had time. You postpone business tasks to, quote, talk things out. You delay your dream to chase her mood. And you think that's love. But it's self-abandonment. A woman respects the man who keeps building no matter who's watching. The man who says, "I'm free next Thursday for an hour. Does that work?" Not the man who replies, "I'll cancel everything for you." When you protect your time, she senses structure. And in structure, women feel desire. Not because you're cold, but because you're grounded. 3. Own your emotional state without apology. If you can't control your emotions, you'll never own the room, and she'll never trust your presence. Every time you react to her silence with over-explaining, every time you let her coldness dictate your mood, you hand over your emotional authority. Real strength, it's the man who can sit in uncertainty without breaking. He doesn't chase clarity. He waits for truth to reveal itself. He doesn't raise his voice to feel heard. He lowers his tone and raises his standards. When you stop asking why she's distant and start asking why you keep making her distance your responsibility, you reclaim your power. Emotional control isn't about being numb. It's about being unshakable. You're not here to beg for stability. You are here to be the stability. When you anchor yourself, She finally has something real to lean into.
4. Build a life that doesn't ask for her approval. There's a version of you that is too focused to chase, too aligned to beg, too immersed in purpose to wait for her to see your worth. That version isn't hoping to be chosen. He chooses himself. She senses when a man's life is centered around her, and in that moment she steps out of orbit. But when she sees a man building, reading, training, investing, creating, leading, not for validation, but because it's his duty, suddenly your presence shifts. She doesn't see you as an option. She sees you as a path. She changes her tone. She watches your rhythm. Because now she's not being entertained. She's trying to earn access to a life already in motion. And the secret? The more you build, the less you'll crave her attention, because legacy becomes louder than longing.
5. Stop explaining. Start leading. You owe no emotional receipt for every boundary you set. The moment you start explaining your decisions, you begin to negotiate your standards. She asks why you didn't reply. You write her an essay. She questions your shift in tone. You list excuses. All she hears is, "I'm afraid you'll leave." And fear kills attraction. A grounded man doesn't explain. He acts, he aligns, he moves. He lets his actions speak. His decisions stand. The world doesn't need another man who tries to be understood. It needs more men who understand themselves. You're not cold, you're clear. And clarity doesn't require a monologue. So next time she asks why, answer with silence or a boundary. Let her feel the power of a man who doesn't defend truth, he just lives it. 6. Become the mystery that haunts her memory. What lingers in her thoughts is not how often you said good morning. It's the subtle depth of your presence. It's the unanswered question behind your calm. Women aren't obsessed with the known. They're drawn to the unfolding, the man who reveals himself layer by layer. Not the man who puts his soul on display by day 3. Don't post every detail. Don't text every emotion. Don't make your life a live stream. Live with depth. Speak with intention. Act with mystery. Let her wonder. Let her feel there's more. Let her guess what you're thinking. Because curiosity creates craving. Not manipulation, but the art of restraint. Be the man who doesn't fill silence with chatter, who pauses before answering, who holds back not because he's hiding, but because his presence doesn't need noise to be felt. That's the man she replays in her mind. That's the man she dreams about long after he's gone. Not the one who gave it all away too soon, but the one who gave just enough to leave her wanting more. Final message. You're not here to be remembered for your begging. You're not here to be respected for your over-explanation. You're not here to be loved for how available you were. You're here to live a life so powerful, so centered, so unshakable that even silence becomes unforgettable. This is Stoic Masculinity, not for boys looking for attention, but for men ready to reclaim their presence. Comment, Fortress, if you're ready to become untouchable, not by turning cold, but by becoming unshakably aligned.